Welcome back to another Kills of the Week video. Here we have Chapter 3 going on in this episode. Anyways, hope everyone had a great weekend. Let's get into it.
Chapter 3. The Murder in Ancient Rome. The transition into ancient Rome was never gentle. Mara felt the world tear away from her in layers, sound and light, then the weight of gravity itself, until she slammed back into existence amid heat, dust, and the clamor of voices speaking a language she'd only ever heard through filtered simulations. She staggered, boots sinking into packed dirt, and forced her breathing steady as the chrono anchor stabilized around her spine. The smell hit next. Sweat, smoke, livestock, and something sour beneath it all, like metal left too long in the sun. Rome, 12C. The city roared. Stone buildings crowded close together. Balconies draped with cloth and ivy. Narrow streets pulsing with humanity. Carts rattled past. Vendors shouted. Somewhere nearby, a crowd cheered at something she couldn't see. Mara pulled the hood of her adaptive cloak up and activated its cultural filter. The sleek black fabric shimmered. Dulling into coarse will dyed a respectable brown. Her boots softened into leather sandals. The chrono device at her wrist muted its glow. She looked like she belonged. Almost. Her scanner vibrated once. A soft pulse against her skin. She was close. The victim lay in the shade of a colonnade near the forum, where marble pillars rose like frozen giants against the sky. A small crowd had gathered. Curious, murmuring, uncertain whether to fear divine punishment or political reprisal. Mara slipped through them easily, her badge useless here, but her authority instinctive. Her body was already stiffening, the eyes glassy and unfocused. A man in his late 30s, well-fed, well-dressed, a poet, her scanner confirmed. Gaius Livius Marcellus, known for biting satire and inconvenient truths. The wound around his throat was unmistakable. Fiber optic cable. Thin, flexible, unbreakable by any technology of this era. Mara crouched, fingers hovering just above the mark without touching it. The skin was bruised deeply, crushed in a way that spoke precision, not panic. No struggle, no chaos, just quiet execution. She closed her eyes briefly. Same signature, she murmured. A nearby Roman guard watched her warily. He was young, armor-scuffed and ill-fitting. Spear held a little too tightly. "You," he barked in Latin, "step away from the body." Mara straightened and let the translator implant do its work. "I'm investigating his death." The guard snorted, then prayed to the gods. This man angered many. "Did you see what happened?" she asked. The guard hesitated. There was light. Like lightning but blue, and a man who was not there, and then was... Mara's jaw tightened. "And then," she prompted, "and then the poet fell, and the man vanished." The guard crossed himself reflexively. "This is cursed business." Mara didn't disagree. She followed the temporal residue through the narrow alleys of the city, past bakeries and bathhouses, past stray dogs and discarded sandals. The signature was faint, but growing stronger. The killer was still nearby. Her hand rested on the grip of her weapon, heart pounding as the sounds of Rome softened, stretched, blurred. The world felt too thin here, like paper stretched over something sharp. She rounded a corner and nearly collided with him. He stood beneath an archway, leaning casually against a stone as if waiting for a friend. His cloak was Roman in cut, but wrong in detail. Stitching too fine, fabric too smooth. His dark hair fell into his eyes in a way that felt deliberately careless. He smiled when he saw her. "Mara Lorne," he said easily in flawless Latin. "You're faster than last time." Her weapon was up in a heartbeat. "Don't move," she snapped. "You're under arrest for crimes that haven't happened yet." He tilted his head. "Or ones that no longer exist?" She fired. The stun pulse ripped through the space where he'd been standing. He wasn't there. She spun, scanning wildly. "Behind you," he said. Morrow whirled. He stood a few paces away now, hands raised, expression almost amused. "I don't want to hurt you," he said. "Not yet." "You've killed 2 people," she said. "One of them yesterday. One of them 2,000 years ago. And both of them were already dead," he replied softly. Mara's finger tightened on the trigger. "That's not how time works." He laughed quietly. "That's exactly how it works. You just haven't seen enough of it yet." He stepped closer. The air hummed, her chrono anchor reacting to his presence. "Why Rome?" she demanded. "Why him?" The killer's eyes flicked briefly toward the corner, where the crowd still murmured around the corpse. "He would have written something," he said. "Something small, a line in a poem, a thought that would echo forward." Echo to where? He met her gaze. To someone who matters. Her scanner beeped, a warning spike. "Step away from the body," a voice shouted in Latin. Roman guards were running toward them now. Spears raised. The killer sighed. "This is where I leave you." "Wait," Mara said. "Your name?" He paused. For just a second, something flickered across his face. Regret, maybe, or weariness. "Soren Vale sends his regards," he said. Then the blue light swallowed him. He vanished as the guards crashed into the space he'd occupied, spears clattering uselessly against stone. Mara lowered her weapon slowly, chest heaving. Soren Vale. The name echoed in her mind like a struck bell. She knew it. She just didn't know why. Hours later, as dust settled over Rome and torches were lit along the streets, Mara sat alone on the steps of the temple, her cloak drawn tight around her shoulders. She replayed the encounter again and again. His confidence, his knowledge of her, his certainty that his victims were already dead. And that name. She pulled up the Time Guard archives on her wrist console and entered it. Soren Vale. The system churned. No results. Mara stared at the empty screen, unease settling deep in her gut. "No one's that clean," she whispered. Somewhere in the city, the bells rang out for evening prayer. And far beyond this century, in a future that hadn't happened yet, a name waited to be born.
There goes their armor. Swapping mag. There goes their armor. There goes their armor. There goes their armor. Changing mag. Incoming fire. Reinforcing armor. There goes their armor. Changing mags.
Priority tasking request received. We're a dot.
I'm hit. Reinforcing armor.
Taking fire! I broke the armor. I broke the armor. Reloading mag. I broke the armor. Reloading mag.
Alrighty, that is chapter 3 of Fractured Futures. Let me know what you think of the story so far, and what challenges would you like to see me do in the upcoming videos. Alrighty, I will see you guys on Tuesday stream. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't let things weigh you down.